So as I was saying before, this is the first and one of the most important phases of growing mushroom. This is our substrate, which is made from horse manure and chicken manure. We use gypsum also to aerate the compost as we're turning it. So we turn it in intervals until it gets to a stage, maybe 6 or 7 turns later, it's at a stage where we're ready to take it to the next phase. How do we know it's ready? It's gone to a dark brown. You can see the flecks of white inside the compost indicate the actinomyces, which is great bacterial activity that we're seeing in that compost. And we know that it's going in the right direction.
And it's warm. It's quite
warm.
Quite
warm. It's probably about like 60, 70 degrees Celsius in there.
You can feel it if you want with water and soap to wash hands.
Yeah. Very warm in there. And you can see it's flecked with those white actinomyces.
Go in there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's hot.
It's steaming, yeah.
It's steaming.
So typically in the morning, that's when you see the steam coming out of the pile.
Yeah.
That's when you can see most of the activity.
And then after this stage, as you know, mushroom is a very sensitive crop to grow, so it's very important for us to pasteurize, almost sanitize the compost to make sure that there aren't any microorganisms or bacteria that are competing with the growth of the fungus. So the next stage we go to is what's called the peak heat room, where we blast this compost at 60 degrees Celsius for 6 hours in the hopes of killing and pasteurizing all those things. And then we cool it down to a point where we can now plant the mushroom.
Yes. So once we do have a traditional way of killing and pasteurizing our compost. We do have drums at the back of the room where we fill them up with water, put some fire underneath, grab some pipes, put them through the wall of this room here, and we introduce steam into the room, and then the steam is what kills off the bacteria and the bad microorganisms. So yeah, like she said, we do that for about 6 hours, and then we let it gradually cool down with some fresh air, a fan. That's called the conditioning stage, until it is room temperature, 25 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Air conditioning and vents, air vents. So we can introduce oxygen and monitor the oxygen levels and fresh air levels. Then we also have the air cons so that we can monitor the temperature level. So each room will be at different stages. I think let me start with room 2. So this is the first stage. Do I need to? No, I don't think so. Okay, you can see? Everyone can see, okay. So this stage is typically called the spawn run stage. The seed for mushroom is called spawn. So every time you hear someone saying spawn, 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 that's because it's not technically seed, but mushroom is a fungus, so it grows from like spores, not necessarily one seed itself. So the spawn run stage, we have to monitor the temperatures from about 24 to 27 degrees Celsius, high humidity, and high carbon dioxide levels. So it typically stays like that.